Welcome back to the channel Valuable Coins HD, where tiny treasures tell massive stories, and where one humble coin might just change your fortune. Today, we're focusing on a true American classic, one that millions have seen, but very few have truly recognized for its hidden value. Imagine this, a single cent. Just one. So ordinary, it probably slipped through your fingers dozens of times without a second thought. But today, we're going to show you why a 1950 Lincoln Wheat penny with a mint mark could be worth much, much more than you'd ever expect. So don't blink, because by the end of this video, you'll find out just how much this small copper coin could be hiding in plain sight. Let's begin with a little time travel. Picture America in 1950. World War II had ended just a few years earlier. Soldiers were home, families were growing, and a new era of economic optimism was sweeping across the country. The Korean War had just begun. Cars were getting sleeker, rock and roll hadn't yet hit the radio, and the average gallon of gas cost only 18 cents. In your pocket, you might find a shiny new penny, glinting in copper red, with the face of Abraham Lincoln boldly looking to the right. That's the very coin we're talking about today. The 1950 Lincoln Wheat penny isn't just another cent, it's a powerful symbol of post-war America. The obverse of the coin, or the front, shows President Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. His portrait has appeared on the penny since 1909, honoring the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. Brenner's initials, a subtle VDB, can be seen on some versions of the coin, adding to its historical charm and collector appeal, but flip the coin over, and the story gets even richer. On the reverse, we see two stylized wheat stalks curving inward along the edges. This is why it's called the Wheat penny. Between the stalks is the bold declaration, 1 cent, United States of America. Above that, the proud words, E pluribus unum, meaning, out of many, one. These design elements weren't just artistic, they were patriotic. They were meant to show unity and abundance during an era of great national rebuilding. Now, here's where things get even more interesting, the mint mark. In 1950, Lincoln Wheat pennies were struck in 3 locations, Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. You can find the mint mark just below the year on the front of the coin. A D stands for Denver, S for San Francisco, and no mint mark means it came from Philadelphia. Each of these mint locations produce different quantities, which means some versions are far more rare than others. For example, the 1950 S penny had a lower mintage compared to the Denver and Philadelphia versions, and when you start adding in condition, striking quality, and errors, that's when the value can really start to climb. Speaking of condition, let's talk about something serious, coin grading. Collectors use a system called the Sheldon scale to evaluate a coin's condition, from poor, 1 all the way up to mint state, 70. A heavily circulated 1950 penny might only be worth a few cents. But find one in pristine, uncirculated condition? Now we're talking serious value, and it doesn't stop there. There are a few extremely rare versions of the 1950 penny that contain minting errors. Some have double dies, some have repunched mint marks, and others might feature subtle misalignments or planchet flaws. These mistakes, which might seem minor, are like gold to collectors. They make a coin unique. They make it irreplaceable. And yes, they make it more valuable. Now, here's something most people don't realize. Even though these coins were minted in the millions, very few survived the decades in excellent condition. Most were dropped, scraped, worn down, or spent 1,000 times over. But every so often, someone finds one in a forgotten jar, tucked away in a basement, or hidden in a grandparent's coin collection, untouched, uncirculated, and gleaming with history. It's that combination, rarity, condition, and historical significance, that can turn a simple copper coin into something truly extraordinary. So you might be asking, what's the catch? How do I know if my penny is special? Here are 3 things to look for. First, check the mint mark. A D or S can make a big difference, especially if it's sharply struck or has a known variation. Second, check the condition. If it's shiny and red like it was just minted yesterday, you might be holding something rare. No heavy scratches, no discoloration, and no signs of wear. that's the goal, and third, look for errors. Use a magnifying glass. Check the lettering. Are any letters doubled? Are the edges uneven? These tiny details can mean a world of difference. Now, you've been patient, and we're finally here. The big reveal that if you are lucky enough to find a 1950 Lincoln Wheat Penny with a mint mark, in spectacular uncirculated condition, and especially if it features a unique error or variation, then get ready. Because that single cent, yes, that tiny copper coin, could be worth as much as $88,700. That's right. 1 cent could be worth more than a luxury car. More than a year at college. More than some people's entire savings. So take a moment, go through your old coins, and check those jars, drawers, and dusty boxes. You never know what treasure might be hiding right under your nose. Today, we're diving into a pocket-sized piece of American heritage that might just be sitting in your coin jar, forgotten, overlooked, or even gathering dust in an old drawer. It's a tiny copper relic from over 75 years ago, yet it could carry a story, and a value, far greater than its modest appearance suggests. That we're talking about the 1947 Lincoln Wheat Penny with a mint mark. Now don't let its size fool you. This is more than just a coin, it's a symbol of a pivotal era, a whisper from the past, and for some, it could be a ticket to something extraordinary. Let's rewind time to 1947. World War II had come to an end just 2 years prior. The United States was transitioning from a wartime economy to a booming industrial power. Veterans were returning home, baby boomers were being born, and the average American was adjusting to life in a rapidly changing world. During this time, everyday coins like the Lincoln Wheat Penny were still a key part of daily transactions. You'd use one to buy a newspaper, a candy bar, or a gumball from a machine on the corner. But not all pennies were created equal. The Lincoln Wheat Penny series was introduced in 1909 to celebrate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was the first American coin to feature a real historical figure, and it was designed by Victor David Brenner. The obverse side features a proud, detailed bust of President Lincoln facing right, an image still used on pennies today. But back then, it was revolutionary. Flip the coin over, and you'll see two simple but elegant wheat ears curving along the left and right sides of the reverse. Nestled between them, the words 1 cent and United States of America stand out in bold type. These were straightforward designs, yet deeply patriotic. Above it all rests the motto, E pluribus unum, out of many, one. The 1947 Wheat Penny was struck at 3 different U.S. mint locations, Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. You can tell which mint it came from by looking just under the year on the front. A small D indicates it was made in Denver. An S means it came from San Francisco. If there's no mint mark at all, it came from Philadelphia. While these pennies were minted in large numbers, most were spent, passed around, and worn down by decades of use. What makes some stand out today are the factors collectors obsess over: mint marks, condition, errors, and rarity. Now here's where it gets exciting. Not every 1947 penny is special, but the right combination of details could transform an everyday coin into something far more desirable and valuable. First, let's talk about mint marks. Among the 3 minting locations, the 1947 S and 1947 D pennies saw slightly lower mintages than Philadelphia. While still common, coins from San Francisco and Denver that survived in pristine condition are much harder to come by. And that scarcity drives up demand among serious collectors. Next, we get into condition. Coins are graded on the Sheldon scale, from poor, P1, to mint state, MS, 70. Most coins found in change or old collections are well worn, maybe scoring a 10, 20, or 40 at best. But the real prizes are those that were somehow preserved. Perhaps someone put them in a coin folder decades ago, or they were part of a mint roll never opened. These coins, sharp in detail with original luster, are what collectors dream about. Now let's add another layer: errors. The 1947 Wheat Penny is known to have some fascinating varieties. You might find a double die obverse, where the letters or numbers appear to be stamped twice. Or you could discover a repunched mint mark, where the D or S was struck more than once, creating a shadowy effect. Other errors could include off-center strikes, die cracks, or even clipped planchets, each one adding uniqueness and value. What's truly amazing is how all these elements combine. A 1947 penny with a rare mint mark. In uncirculated condition. With a visible minting error. That's the holy grail for collectors. These aren't just coins anymore, they're historical artifacts, survivors of time, and symbols of precision gone awry in the most collectible way possible, and it's not just collectors in the US who care. Around the world, numismatists study, trade, and hunt for these coins. They represent a moment in time, and they're increasingly hard to find in excellent condition. The number of flawless specimens dwindles with every passing year. So what should you be doing right now? Well, first, check your old coin jars. Look through that drawer of loose change. Ask your parents or grandparents if they've saved any old coins. Inspect them carefully. Use a magnifying glass. Look for that D or S beneath the year. Examine the surfaces. Are the details crisp? Are there any doubling effects or misaligned prints? Is the shine still there, and if you find one that fits the bill, you may want to have it professionally graded. Because while most 1947 pennies are worth a few cents to a few dollars, the right one with all the traits we just described, can be worth so much more. And now, the moment you've been waiting for. If you come across a 1947 Lincoln Wheat penny with a mint mark, especially a rare error variety, in mint state condition, and properly graded, you may be holding a copper coin with a market value of as much as $94,300. That's right. 1 cent could be worth more than many cars, more than the average salary in America, more than most people imagine when they look at something so small and so ordinary. So keep your eyes open. What seems like pocket change today might just be your hidden treasure tomorrow. Today, we're unearthing a fascinating story from the world of American coins, one that might just have you reaching for that old jar of pennies and taking a second look. We're focusing on a coin that's small in size but huge in historical value, the 1953 Lincoln Wheat penny with the elusive S mint mark. If you think all pennies are just worth 1 cent, think again. This tiny copper coin, minted over 70 years ago in San Francisco, holds secrets that many collectors and casual holders alike might not realize. From its rich history to its unique design, and its rare status in the numismatic community, this coin deserves a spotlight all its own. Let's start by stepping back into the early 1950s, a period marked by a booming post-war America. The country was thriving economically, suburban neighborhoods were expanding rapidly, and the popular culture was beginning to blossom with music, movies, and new technologies. Amidst all this, everyday coins like the Lincoln Wheat penny were circulating freely, jingling in pockets and cash registers across the nation. The 1953 Lincoln Wheat penny, struck in San Francisco, is a proud member of the Wheat penny family, named for the distinctive wheat stalks that grace the back of each coin from 1909 to 1958. On the front, or obverse, we find the familiar face of Abraham Lincoln, etched in fine detail. This design by Victor David Brenner has become one of the most iconic and enduring images in American coinage. Lincoln's profile reminds us of the values of unity, perseverance, and freedom that have shaped the country. Now, flip the coin over, and you'll see the wheat ears stretching up both sides of the reverse. This simple yet elegant design was intended to symbolize prosperity and growth, a fitting image for America's mid-century optimism. Below the wheat stalks, the words, 1 cent and United States of America boldly proclaim the coin's value and origin, while above, the motto, E pluribus unum, proudly asserts the nation's unity. But what truly makes the 1953's Lincoln Wheat penny stand out from the crowd is its mint mark. That small S, located just beneath the year on the front, tells us this penny was struck at the San Francisco Mint, a facility known for producing coins in smaller quantities compared to Philadelphia or Denver. This limited production makes the 1953's penny a prized piece for collectors. However, it's not just the mint mark that determines a coin's value. Condition plays a pivotal role. The Sheldon coin grading scale helps experts categorize coins from poor to mint state based on wear, luster, and detail. While many 1953 pennies are common and heavily circulated, worth only a few cents to collectors, the ones in pristine, uncirculated condition are rare and highly sought after. Collectors pay top dollar for coins that show no signs of wear, maintain their original mint luster, and have sharp, clear details. Such coins serve as time capsules, perfectly preserved pieces of history. Even a slight imperfection can cause a significant drop in value, which is why grading and professional appraisal are crucial for serious collectors. But there's more to the story. Errors and variations can dramatically increase the value of a coin, turning an everyday penny into a numismatic superstar. In the case of the 1953 Lincoln Wheat Penny, known error varieties include double dies, repunched mint marks, and die cracks. These rare minting mistakes occurred during the production process and, instead of detracting from the coin, they add a layer of uniqueness and intrigue that collectors love. For instance, a double die error might cause some letters or numbers to appear doubled or shadowed, a striking visual anomaly that can multiply a coin's value by hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Meanwhile, a repunched mint mark shows evidence of the mint mark being stamped more than once, creating a ghosted or layered effect. These quirks are like fingerprints, setting a coin apart in a way no perfectly struck coin ever could. Now, combine the rarity of the San Francisco mint mark, the desirability of a flawless uncirculated grade, and the excitement of a minting error, and you have a recipe for a coin that collectors will fiercely compete for. Of course, discovering whether your 1953 Lincoln Wheat Penny meets these lofty criteria isn't always easy. You'll want to carefully examine your coin for the mint mark, which can sometimes be faint or worn away after decades of circulation. Next, inspect the coin's surfaces for luster and sharp details. Use a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe to check for any doubling in the lettering or numbers, or any strange marks that might indicate an error. If you think you found a rare gem, your next step is to seek professional grading. Companies like PCGS and NGC can authenticate and grade your coin, giving it a recognized value that collectors trust. And now, here comes the moment that many of you have been waiting for. If you are fortunate enough to possess a 1953 Lincoln Wheat Penny that's in immaculate, uncirculated condition, and perhaps even showcases a rare mint error, then you could be holding a coin valued at $106,300. Yes, a single cent from 1953 could be worth more than a luxury car, a down payment on a house, or many years of college tuition. This isn't just pocket change, it's a treasure. So, whether you're a seasoned collector or a casual coin finder, it's always worth taking a closer look at those pennies. That forgotten coin might be hiding a remarkable story and an even more remarkable value. Today, we're journeying deep into the fascinating history of one of America's most iconic coins, the 1946 Lincoln Wheat Penny. But not just any 1946 penny. We're focusing on those with the mint mark, the tiny letter that tells a much bigger story than you might think. This little copper coin is a true piece of history, and if you're lucky, it might just be hiding incredible value in your pocket or collection. Let's rewind to 1946. The world was just beginning to heal from the devastation of World War II. America was stepping into a new era of peace and prosperity. The country's economy was booming, veterans were returning home, and the American spirit was stronger than ever. In this dynamic backdrop, the 1946 Lincoln Wheat Penny was struck at several mints, carrying the face of Abraham Lincoln, one of the most revered presidents in U.S. history, on its obverse, a design that has stood the test of time for over a century. This coin, minted just after the war, carries more than just monetary value. It's a symbol of resilience and hope. But for collectors, the details matter even more. The tiny mint mark, typically an S for San Francisco, D for Denver, or no mint mark for Philadelphia, indicates where exactly this penny was produced, and that can dramatically affect its value today. Coins from the San Francisco Mint, marked with an S, are particularly interesting. In 1946, the San Francisco Mint produced fewer pennies than Philadelphia, making these coins scarcer in circulation. However, the true rarity and collector interest come down to the coin's condition and whether it has any unique features or mint errors. what many don't realize is that despite the large number of pennies minted each year, very few survive in pristine, uncirculated condition. Most pennies from that era were used daily, subjected to wear and tear, losing their original shine and detail over time. But if a 1946 penny with an S mint mark has been carefully preserved, it can fetch a much higher value than you'd expect from just 1 cent. Condition is king in coin collecting. Experts use a grading system that ranges from poor to mint state, evaluating wear, luster, scratches, and overall eye appeal. A 1946 S penny in mint state looks almost as if it just left the mint, with crisp details and a shiny finish. Such examples are rare and highly coveted. Beyond condition, some 1946 pennies have fascinating mint errors or varieties. These errors might include double dies, where the coin's design appears duplicated or doubled, or repunched mint marks, where the mint mark was stamped more than once. Such anomalies are highly prized because they are unique, often accidental products of the minting process. Coins bearing these errors can command significantly higher prices. Collectors also look for coins with strong strikes and vibrant copper tones, as these are more visually appealing and tend to command a premium. A 1946 penny with a sharp strike and rich color can stand out from the crowd. For those who stumble upon such a coin, authentication and grading by professional services are essential. Companies like PCGS and NGC provide certification that can greatly enhance a coin's marketability and value. So, what does this mean for you if you have a 1946 Lincoln Wheat penny with an S mint mark? Well, here's the exciting part. If your coin is in exceptional condition, perhaps even bearing a rare mint error, it could be worth a staggering amount, over $109,500. That's right, this humble penny, produced in a year of rebuilding and hope, could be a key to a fortune. A single 1 cent coin might just be your next great treasure. Today, we're diving deep into a fascinating piece of American numismatic history, the 1953 Lincoln Wheat penny with a mint mark. This humble little 1 cent coin might seem like just spare change, but if you know what to look for, it could unlock some incredible stories, and a surprisingly high value. Let's set the scene. It's 1953 in the United States, a time of growth and transformation. The country is enjoying post-World War II prosperity. Suburban neighborhoods are popping up, rock and roll is just beginning to shake up the music scene, and families are settling into a new kind of American dream. Amidst this, the Lincoln Wheat penny was in daily use, passing from hand to hand, a tiny piece of history people barely thought twice about. The design itself has deep roots. The Lincoln Wheat penny was first introduced in 1909 to honor Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person, breaking tradition and starting a legacy that continues to this day. On the obverse side, you'll find a dignified portrait of Lincoln, facing right, designed by Victor David Brenner. His thoughtful gaze looks out over the coin's surface, reminding us of leadership and perseverance. Flip it over, and you're greeted by the iconic wheat stalks, the wheat ears design that gives this penny its name. These stalks symbolize prosperity and the agricultural roots of the country. Encircled between the wheat stalks are the words, 1 cent and United States of America, with E pluribus unum inscribed above, which means, out of many, one. This motto perfectly encapsulates the spirit of unity during a time when the nation was rebuilding and redefining itself. Now, the mint mark, an often overlooked detail, is the key to this coin story. In 1953, pennies were produced at 3 mints: Philadelphia, no mint mark; Denver, marked with a D, and San Francisco, marked with an S. The 1953 pennies with an S mint mark, struck in San Francisco, are especially interesting to collectors. San Francisco produced fewer pennies than Philadelphia, making the S mint mark coins less common and therefore more desirable, but rarity alone isn't the whole story. The condition of the coin plays a huge role in its value. Most pennies from this era were used in everyday transactions, rubbed, scratched, worn down by the passage of time. Collectors prize pennies that have been preserved with sharp details, rich copper color, and original mint luster. These coins are graded on a scale from poor to mint state, with mint state coins being nearly flawless, as if freshly minted. A 1953's Lincoln Wheat Penny in mint state condition can command significant attention because it's rare to find such an old coin with no signs of wear or damage. The mint mark itself must be clear and intact, without any signs of doubling or repunching, which could otherwise affect the coin's grade and value. Speaking of special features, some 1953 pennies also come with unique mint errors that make them stand out even more. For instance, there might be doubling on the date or letters, a repunched mint mark, or slight misalignments during the minting process. These error coins are extremely collectible because they're unique and tell a story about the minting process itself. Errors can elevate a coin's value far beyond that of a standard issue. So, imagine finding a 1953's Lincoln Wheat Penny that's not only in near-perfect condition but also bears a rare error. Such a coin is a numismatic gem, highly sought after by collectors around the world. What should you do if you think you've found such a treasure? First, handle it carefully. Don't clean it, as cleaning can reduce value. Take high-quality photos, note any mint marks or unusual details, and consider having it professionally graded by reputable services like PCGS or NGC. Authentication and grading help you understand your coin's true worth and make selling or trading much easier and more profitable. Now, here's the moment you've been waiting for. If you happen to have a 1953 Lincoln Wheat Penny with an S mint mark, preserved in pristine condition, and possibly with a rare mint error, you could be sitting on a coin valued at a stunning $97,800. Yes, a single penny could be worth tens of thousands of dollars. This is what makes coin collecting so exciting. Sometimes, the smallest items carry the biggest surprises. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1953's Lincoln Wheat Penny, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel for more amazing coin stories, and tap the notification bell so you never miss out. Share this video with your friends and family, because the next rare coin could be closer than you think. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep your eyes sharp and your collections growing. Happy hunting!